I pray. I pray, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? I tithe religiously, but I'm still struggling. Does God hear me? And then I read this book and realized maybe I wasn't listening.
Contrary wins. For those who want to give up but need to know, greater is coming. Buy now on He Did Not Forget
What up,
Me.
y'all? So a lot of people have been asking me how to get their music on my brand Vile Hip Hop News. I think I got away. I'm going to start doing music video reactions for independent artists. If you're interested, email me at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com for details.
Ross, he did an interview with Donald Trump, and it got, last I known, 100 million views in a day. It's probably somewhere way higher than that right now. It broke the internet. It was the hottest thing going. Clips all over the internet. And right after that, Kai Cenat came out like a day after, saying that Kamala Harris's team, somebody from his team, her team, reached out and wanted to, do a sit down with them. Now he openly admitted like he don't know what to say, or anything like that. And Charlamagne the God went on today and said that whoever reached out to Kai should be fired. What's your thoughts on that, man? Had this Kamala Harris, administration already turned into a complete joke with them just trying to go with social media ways and trying to, as we say, pander, for the vote by going to sit down with the likes of a Kai Cenat?
I think politics in general are a joke, in particular with the side that panders the most. And right now, I hate to break it to you guys, but I'm throwing on our MAGA hats. It's like a lot of y'all want to throw in the comment section. Like a lot of y'all say, right? But a lot of the Democratic Party is doing a lot of pandering. Now, I'm not going to put this on Kamala Harris personally. I'm not going to say she made the call, but somebody on her team thought it would be in her best interest to sit down with a kid and a streamer whose age demographic, like I was saying in the pre-production, is probably from, 8 to 19. You can't, when can you vote, 18?
Yeah.
So, okay, maybe the 18-year-olds, but these people aren't thinking about politics right now. They're thinking about laughing, screaming, kicking each other's asses, and having fun. They're not thinking about what's going on in the world, not while they're watching Kai Cenat. So for her to go on there would be absolutely asinine. It'd make absolutely no sense. But what would be their objective in her going on there? Promoting the black people. And they know it. And here we go again. They could do the most outlandish, wild shit, and I hate to throw color into it, but we got to, because, hey, who are they trying to get for them votes? Young black people. Why are they trying to do it? Because it's a popularity contest, and it's not about the policy. It's about the politics, and it's just another example of that, man.
And even in both parties, I say it like this. You don't see them really go sit down, with Dr. Claude Anderson or, a great author or a great economist or a great, entrepreneur or anything. They sit down with artists and entertainers. And with the Trump and Aiden Ross thing, I can't put it in the same, breath as the Kai Cenat Kamala Harris, because when you listen to the interview, Aiden asked him some pertinent questions. Kai already admitted that he's not, going to know what to ask her. Like, it'd be a shit show. It'd have been, dancing around, hollering, her probably talking about collard greens or something, how hip she was, or trying to relate to this generation who, like you said, is not even focused on that right now. But people were trying to, they would say, because the sister that came up there from I guess she was at Chick-fil-A or something, the black chick on Trump the other day, she came out. People were trying to say, oh, they pandering. No, I don't consider that pandering. You know what I mean? Pandering is when you go, like, you never really related or did anything with the black community. Now all of a sudden you got your Megan Thee Stallion. Now you try to run to any little thing that you can find, that you think is going to make you hip and make you, appeal to the hip hop culture or the hip hop community. You ain't really see Donald Trump doing that too much. Now, he did it. The OT7 Quantity was one. They took a picture together. He didn't have him performing at the rally or nothing like that. He did come out to the 50 Cent thing or whatever. That was just like, come on, man. Come on. You got this woman, and I know it's a dead issue at this point, saying that she was Indian. Now she's representing herself as black. You got this woman, saying all these different catchphrases, doing stuff the Democrats typically do to try to get the black vote. And the crazy part is you probably ain't even got to do that. That's how brainwashed we are. I'm looking at comments and stuff, and I'm seeing people saying, she messing with Donald Trump is messing with a strong black woman. I see somebody post something up like, I think Donald Trump is going to bow out the race. He don't want to lose to a strong black woman. Like, What are we talking about here? Nobody's sitting down talking about different policies. I'll respect anybody if they sat down with Kamala Harris, and you know that she's shying away from that. She's not sitting down with anybody who's going to ask her some real issues. Donald Trump has sat down with the dude and answered every question he had. Donald Trump went to the Black Journalist Conference, sat down and answered every question that they had. People didn't like the flavor that he did it, but he went and did it. I would like to see Kamala do this. Sit down in front of some intellectuals and answer some real questions. That's all.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you heard Charlamagne say, I seen on Instagram a little while before we got in here, he was worried because the Supreme Court is now corrupt, right? It's now tainted. It's now been compromised. They overturn Roe versus Wade. They allow corruption and bribery to go on within Congress. They do all of this stuff. And his fear is that if Kamala Harris is to win, Donald Trump has it within his power to have the Supreme Court overturn it, because he'll fight it and do the Supreme Court laws to overturn the election. And I'm paraphrasing, but I'm basically saying directly what he said. This will be the biggest political catastrophe we've ever seen in our generation if this were to happen. Their fear is if Donald Trump were to get into office, the entire Supreme Court would be destroyed, dismantled, and based off of laws already in place that we're looking to walk into a shit show come November, first Tuesday in November. What's your thoughts on that?
Is he saying that? Is he saying that because of the how it was pretty much unconstitutional for them to like to put her as the Democratic nominee? And he's thinking Trump is going to challenge that because remember, this never happened in history.
Yeah,
a president drop out of a race and them not have a primary or anything. They just push her in front of the people.
I'm thinking
making a reference to that.
That, and because he also and I got to look up more into it. And people who in the comment section, please. You know what I mean? Fact check us, please.
Right.
But he was also alluding to the fact that presidents and things can have immunity. So he could go in there and just basically say, no, this is false, this is bullshit. We're going to redo this election. This is election fraud. And we may not have a president at all. Not just based off of how she got into the Democratic nominee position, but her winning in general.
Right.
He can fight that. But my question is, and like I said, please fact check us.
Yeah.
If that were the case, couldn't Kamala Harris equally, because those laws are in place for everybody, not just Republicans, fight that and
I don't see that being an issue.
I don't know.
I think he just thinking too deep into the shit. Not because even when Trump lost the last, supposedly he won, and then they said I don't know, but he was fighting it and all that, and I don't think it's gonna go far. I think whoever wins is going to be in there. It's going to be there for the next 4 years. He may, create a fuss about it, and it may get a little steam, but I just don't see the powers that be even letting that even go down. Forget the Supreme Court and all that. You know what I mean? If that was the case, he said he won. How come he wasn't in office? The last election, he said he technically won an election or something like that. So I feel like, honestly, that whoever's in control of this, whatever, whether you want to call it the powers that be, the elite, they don't want Donald Trump in there. I just kind of feel that. I can't give you the reasons why. I just feel like, for whatever reason, like the play that they made with the Kamala Harris play is now structured to get her into office, and I wouldn't be surprised if she wins. I don't think she's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did. Because I feel like she's more in line to what the elites want to do. It's like she's 100% behind whatever they want to do, and Trump's kind of anti that.
Right. No, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see, kind of fast forward in 4 years, and we don't even know what's going to happen in the next 6 months, but let's fast forward 4 years real quick to the next election when Donald Trump should no longer be in the equation. Right? Shouldn't be.
Maybe too old.
He shouldn't be, and we'll have a new Republican nominee. What the conversation? What's the tone going to be like in our community in particular? Because it'll either be Donald Trump won, and we'll see what happens with those 4 years when it comes to us, or it'll be Kamala Harris won, and we'll see what happened with those 4 years for us. But what's going to happen that next election? How is this election going to shape how we move and how we feel for the elections moving forward? Because Donald Trump will no longer be an excuse. No longer be an excuse. So now what are we going to do? Are we going to still just vote blue because that's what we're trained and programmed to do? Or are we going to start honestly looking at real situations because the big bad racist KKK Proud Boys members no longer in position to do nothing? Now how are we going to look at situations and circumstances? Because these next 4 years will dictate a lot. Whether he's in there, we're going to see a lot. Whether he's in there or Kamala Harris is in there, we're going to see, I think our eyes should, if we ain't been open the last 16 years, I don't know when the fuck it's going to be, but it should open up a lot wider, given what we've been through the last 8, man.
But
I
think
really
about
do.
even going back before that. Then Obama had he had 2 terms in.
Yep.
Obama, but wasn't Biden Obama's vice president?
Yep.
Then he became the president.
Yep.
And this is his first term, and he's going for a second. So you figure the last 12 years, it's been Obama's show pretty much.
Yeah.
That's his vice. You know what I mean? And now Biden has Kamala Harris, so that's just a continuation of that regime.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how shit is now. Like y'all want more of that?
Yeah, they do.
And then, the years that Trump was in office, the 4 years, it seemed like things were just a little bit better. Inflation wasn't as high. You know, people were, thriving just a little bit more. As soon as you put Biden back in, so I mean, things like that. It's just like if you're not into the deep politics, just look about how you was living at the time. That's what I say to people because everybody's not deep into the politics. A lot of that shit's bullshit. They're lying about this, they're lying about that, they're talking about this and that.
Running
Even the whole
circles.
immigration thing. It's like it's not good for us.
No.
It's not. You let all these people in, they sucking up these different resources. It should be a process and they should be screened just like anybody else is screened to come over here. And I know the immigrants don't like to hear that because they want this American dream and they want to come over here. But nah, man, they know this is the country that we built on the backs of us. And not just us, other people did it too. But, I think we should have some, say-so over that.
I'm down for anybody to come here and to attain the American dream after everyone here gets an opportunity to achieve that dream themselves. And you can't tell me everyone there when we got homelessness at an all-time high. You can't tell me that we passing over people who are struggling out here, who are working their asses off and getting, Social Security or getting their pensions or whatever the case may be. Whatever the case, they're not being able to sustain life. They're not getting advantages that people walking into this country illegally, not people in this country, they're getting. Businesses, fucking homes, this and that. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You want to come over here and get an opportunity, great. But I better not see a homeless motherfucker on the street. I better not see a middle-class family, a man or a woman without a job if they need it, to be able to provide for their family, or an opportunity to go obtain land or to clean their credit or to get business capital like these immigrants are getting. It's insane, dog. That's my biggest issue. Like, we got people here that need to be taken care of before anybody else.
Vets and stuff out here, homeless.
Kids and shit. Like, come on, miss me with all that, bro.
Yeah, nah. So, I'll be honest with you. We never intended, I could probably speak for both of us, to really be talking about all this political stuff.
Hell no.
It kind of just landed on our lap. Like the Democrats, the move that they made, we had to start speaking. Like if it had just been Biden and Trump, we would have been cool. We wouldn't have talked about it. I promise you, we probably would have never did not one video. But when they threw that Kamala play, and we started to see how black people started going on the rabbit hole again, we're like, we got to speak up and say something about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll see what happens, man. It's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's going down the way it's going down.
Me too.
I really am. I'm glad it's going down the way it's going down. And I'm sitting here with my popcorn watching.
Yep.